So, okay, now let me ask you this. We're talking about leaving, joining wrong, leaving right, leaving wrong, the whole nine. I guess my question, I'm trying to formulate what I'm trying to ask, because I'm not going to use them as an excuse. I'm asking for me. What do you say? Because I know how I was raised. I think most of us were raised. But you touched on something a moment ago. People leave, and there's this. I'll be honest. Here's what frustrates me. It frustrates me when people leave wrong, and the saints that stayed make them a martyr. So I've seen situations where somebody that you didn't talk to when they went here, you weren't friends with when they went here, but the moment they leave, they become a hero. And so because I'm a loyalist, as you mentioned, I think last week, I'm big on loyalty. Part of me wants to say, hey, if they were with us, they wouldn't have left us.
Yeah.
And especially if, I'm not talking about, to be very clear, here's the context. I'm talking about those that leave wrong. I'm not talking about my season legitimately up or a job or what. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those that left with an agenda to be hurtful on their exit.
Yeah.
How do you create an atmosphere and a climate? And let me ask you it this way. Is there a place where at a certain level of leadership in your church, if they did X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, we need to separate? Because you can't say that, because if you say that, this is a cult. But I feel like, because I've seen people make posts, any church that tells you not to talk to folk after they leave is a cult. There are examples of that where that's true.
That's very true.
Yeah, but doesn't it matter how they left? Because if we're going to be biblical, didn't Paul tell us, hey, mark them?
Yep. And I'm gonna tell you that text where it talks about,
said, don't even go eat with them.
I'm gonna go even deeper with you. That text where Paul says, "Don't be unequally yoked with believers." That has nothing to do with marriage.
That's right.
That text is actually talking about those who left because they did not like the message of Paul.
Yeah.
And Paul tells them, "I know you're gonna leave me, and when you leave, please do not get unequally yoked with someone that's not teaching the truth as I am." And so you have those who leave, and a lot of people are leave traditions or things that they feel are too traditional to join up with movements that are very unbiblical.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But trendy.
Yeah,
Very unbiblical, but very trendy.
I think another challenge is, and you can see this anywhere on social media, specifically if there's a pastor talking about how to leave or anything like that on social media, you'll always find at least one person in the comments saying, but pastors need to make sure that they blank.
Always.
I think it's just the crowd asking for Barabbas, honestly. I think the leader will always have a perpetual target on his back, almost to where there's no right decision. So I think to Jacob's point, to Green's point, if you're going to pastor, you better be willing to stand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to have to make a decision one time on behalf of God that's going to irritate the masses.
And something that really does concern, and I'll frame this in the form of a question. Do you all think that church these days has become more, in some cases, more of a social club than a spiritual movement?
Absolutely. Yeah. But we got to sanctify the house.
And the reason I ask that is because when that becomes the case, some people, they're more tied.
We're getting close.
They're more tied to each other than they are to God. That goes back to bad reasons to join. I didn't just join this church because my crew goes here or the people I like goes here. But you have to join the church because I found God or God found me here. One or the other.
I agree.